Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the England Rogers Sports Hour on Love Bay Music Talk, Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. And Roger, what a day of sports. I'm here watching the West Indies, but they're not doing too well. But we'll talk more about that when we get to the cricket. And as they just lost another wicket, so six down, chasing 217 69. Wow.
Is, is, Good morning. Good morning. Is Powell still there?
No, he's just out.
Oh my God, we're in trouble.
So
Well, they have batting all the way to number 10.
yeah, well, they said this morning they're batting to 11 because they said that Hussein has a couple of first class centuries and half centuries. So let's see what happens. Only 90 yard runs to get, but it looks tough. Let's hope West Indies get across the line. Are you hearing me clearly, Roger?
I am hearing you, but
Okay.
it's
Cutting out?
uh, no, it's reverbing. So
Oh,
I'm hearing you
let me
three
try.
times.
Is this any better? Is this any better now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's probably the headphones. So let me try it without the headphones and hopefully it will work for both of us.
I hope
Hello?
so because it's coming over twice.
Oh, it's coming over twice. Oh, maybe
Yeah,
it's the
yeah,
connection here. Wow.
yeah. But no,
So,
it's good now. I think.
okay, yeah, so quite a bit to talk about today as usual. We had the Montreal last weekend. We didn't get down to Montreal, but Formula One, Hamilton on the podium again.
It's still happening. Hold on.
Hello?
Yeah, hold on a second. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come out and come back in because it's going
Okay.
twice,
As you
right?
go out, we'll just keep talking. Yeah. Okay, I'll
Yep.
see. Yes. What I was
Okay.
saying is that last week we had the Formula One Hamilton on the podium again, but still second. Just they not quick enough. His car is just getting better, but still no quick enough to get to Verstappen. Verstappen is just dominating, and there's gonna have to be something soon in that Red Bull to catch that Red Bull, or it's just gonna be match over pretty soon. If for anybody, any other driver actually, it's gonna be match over soon.
I mean, for Verstappen,
Yeah, it's gonna
it,
be. Yeah,
it's over already. What are you talking about? Who can beat
it's
him?
done.
It's already done. This guy comes out and he wins every week, and yeah, there's no competition as far as I'm concerned. It looks like he could fall asleep half the way and still win.
Yeah, it was just too much pace. I watched the start of the race and I see Hamilton passed Alonso at the start,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just not enough speed
yeah,
and for
yeah.
going down the end in the Mercedes. But as you said, it's the Red Bull
Red
can't
Bulls.
catch it. Aston
It's
Martin not fast enough. So
nobody's fast enough, and I think you know what they could probably find a way to make it more exciting. But like next time they show up, Verstappen is going to be on top, and it doesn't matter who's going to be second or third.
yeah, it's just a
You know,
second or third we're looking for right now. And
right now, yeah.
yeah, and then Hamilton's partner Russell
Russell?
crashed her. Yeah, he crashed
Yeah,
out.
he did. He
Yeah,
did.
so did not finish. Yeah,
But I mean, what I thought by now they would have signed Hamilton,
they would have.
signed him up to say you're
Oh yeah, he's
Mercedes
not
for life.
signed. Yeah, he's not signed yet, and that's a bit concerning. But
Yeah, because it's I think his contract is up next month.
yes, and it's
Yes,
not signed yet. So you
it's
wonder
close.
what's going on there, but you never know. In sport, things happen last minute, but somebody
Yeah,
like Hamilton, must be something behind the scenes going on
going
why
on.
they're not getting
And I'm
signed.
pretty sure it's a very tough negotiation as well with all the media around it and all of that. So maybe they just want to make sure they do the right thing. I mean, he makes, and this is no joke, money, he makes 40 million a year. So are they going to sign him for more than that, or are they going to sign him for the same or a little less? I don't know. So maybe that's part of the discussion going on right now.
Yeah, probably that's the discussion for sure. Now, that win from Verstappen last week, he equaled Senna's career
I
total of
notice.
41 victories.
I notice. I notice. I mean, he's still way off from where
Still
Lewis
way out
Hamilton
from
is,
Lewis
but I
Hamilton.
mean, he's done it pretty quickly.
Yeah, he has done it quickly.
He's on a good little roll right now. So I mean, if there's 5 races left, he's probably going to have 5 more victories. So he's going to get to 50 pretty quickly.
Yes, definitely for sure. So they're off this week, and
Yes.
where do they go next? I know they're off this weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend is probably I have to check the schedule and see, but
Yeah.
definitely they gonna keep an eye on the Formula One. I think the Spanish Grand Prix next. That's gone already. So it's
Yes.
probably the Austrian. I think end of June. The 30th of
Yes.
June is the
June.
Austrian Grand Prix. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we look forward. That's holiday weekend for us, Roger.
It is. It is. I guess everyone is looking forward to a long weekend.
Yeah, it's the holiday actually falls on the Saturday, but we get to probably
We get the
celebrate on
Monday.
the Monday. Yeah,
Yeah, which is awesome.
it's
It's a
very
long
awesome
weekend.
for sure.
A really long weekend is always the best.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll follow Formula One and keep you updated. And Roger, I don't know if you've been watching any tennis recently, but
A little. A little.
I saw Venus back on the court.
That game, was it for like 2 days they were playing for or something?
Yeah,
She
she
was at
won
40. She's
first.
in her 40s
Yeah,
and she went for 5 hours.
she 43. She won that first match along, and then she came back and lost the second one to
She did.
Ostapenko, who's a
Yes.
top player. But
Yeah, yeah.
it was another three setter, so she played very
She's
well.
fighting for her age. She's doing really, really well, and she got the wild card into Wimbledon. So
Yeah,
that's her place, right? She's really good there. So let's see how far she goes. But interested to see at her age that she's still so competitive and so into it.
yeah, she's very competitive and into it, and she was happy that she served a 120-mile serve.
That's the part that I was shocked about. Is like, okay,
Yeah,
I
she
can't go that fast with my serve.
I
So
know, and she's still wow, she's serving at that amount still. So
yes, yes,
it's really phenomenal. So then the men's side, they're playing in London, and
yeah.
Alcaraz came back from behind and beat Dimitrov
Which for me
on the
was a huge
second set.
statement. It was a huge statement for me because this is not his place. So he's not
Right.
a grass player. I don't think it's the first time he's getting to the quarters and passing the quarters. So he is making a run to be number one in the world as Djokovic is. All
He
courts,
is,
be
he is for
competitive.
sure.
And I think he's going to get there, but right now, this is his weakest court. So let's see how
Yeah.
far he goes.
He didn't think he had a chance on grass, but now
No,
that he won a few matches, he's
there you
feeling a
go.
little better.
He's
So
feeling good about himself.
yeah, and he's playing the semifinal right now against Corda.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
I'm feeling he's going to win.
I think he should win too. And I'm surprised Demina beat Rooney in the semifinal,
Yeah,
the
I don't know what's
first
going on with
semifinal.
Rooney. I don't know what's going on with
Yeah,
Rooney. Yeah, that was a shocker for me.
that was a big shocker. And on the women's side, we saw Coco going out early, but a lot of big names. Sabalenka went out early. Hans
Earlier,
Jabeur went out early. So a lot of big names went out early.
I'm wondering what's going on there. But yeah, you're right about Coco. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too high on her, but I thought she would have been a little more consistent in her game.
I thought so too. And talking to a friend who's an avid tennis fan, and she said to me, she thinks that all of these players put in so much effort to train for the clay court that now they got to the grass, they have not adjusted yet. So she said,
That's an
"That's
interesting point. That's an
yeah,
interesting point.
it's an interesting point, but we will see there, and I hope they make that adjustment."
Yes, Wimbledon is coming up soon, so I'm pretty sure that they will. But also, I noticed a couple Canadians. So we saw Andrescu. I don't know
And
what's
just
going on. We need to. I don't know. I think she's extremely talented, Ingle,
oh yeah, I
but
think so
I don't know
too.
what's going on with her. I don't know what's going on. She's out already,
Yeah,
right?
she's out. Yeah,
It's like, what's going on with you? It's a warm-up tournament. We're looking forward to see how far you can go when you get beaten in the first round.
yeah,
But I was a little disappointed, I must say, but extremely talented, so I'm sure she's going to figure it out again and get back to where she should be. The other Canadian, though, Milos Raonic, so he hasn't played for 2 years.
hmm
He finally came back, and now he's pulling out again. So I think he's in trouble. I think
Yeah,
he's
he's
in trouble.
probably in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
injuries is getting the better of him. He's a young kid, but this I don't know if he's going to be able to come back. So it's always good to watch the Canadians, make a big run in these tennis tournaments. But right now we have Felix, and he's not
And
hundred
yeah,
percent either.
he's not 100%. He's and yeah, it's not easy for the Canadian players. So
Not at this point in time. They were on a
mhm,
roll a couple of years ago. Felix came from nowhere and he made the top 10, and Andriscu won the U.S. Open, and Leila Fernandez made the finals, and Canada was on this huge roll, and then suddenly slow down.
slow down for sure. But we've been hoping that by the time the Wimbledon comes around, that they will be
Yeah,
doing much better
that's
and
the
be
hope.
back in some form.
That's the hope. And as you said, yeah, good point about moving from clay to grass. I mean, one is slow and slippery, and the other one is fast, and so maybe it's just an adjustment that they have to do. And let's see how the next few weeks comes and goes with them.
Yeah, and Shapovalov, he's been caught in cold himself, so
Yeah, he has always been though.
yeah, he has always been good
He goes up and
potential.
does really well, and then you just don't see him for the next. Felix is the one that I thought was consistent, but I think he's just tired.
Right,
He
for
went on a
sure.
long run and he moved all the way to like top six, and then I don't know. Last few games he hasn't done much.
Definitely. In the interest of time, Roger, we'll just switch over and talk about bits about the NBA draft, and then we'll talk to cricket. And any surprises in the NBA draft? I mean, first round draft pick. I think we all knew that from way back.
I will say, and maybe it's just me. This guy is talented, but I think he's overhyped. I don't know.
I think
It's like he's
it's
the second coming of a king or something. I
is
don't
it all
think
about his height? He's 7'5".
he's tall and he can shoot the three, but
He can, yeah,
he's skinny. I think they're gonna just bounce him around when he gets to the NBA. These are some big guys he's going up against.
yeah. That's what I was thinking too. He's got to put on some size for sure because
And he's saying no. He's saying he doesn't think he has to. He has to just get stronger, but he doesn't realize what he's gonna hit. But I mean, yeah, he was a man amongst boys. Let's see
hmm
if he can be a man amongst men. That's the
yeah,
big question for me. But extremely talented and a lot of hype, and he's good.
it's got a lot of hype, and I mean, there was no question who was going to go first.
Oh no.
When Banyai, yeah, I'm not a Frenchman, but
Yep.
yeah, it's good to see that, and let's hope that he lives up to the hype and
For his sake.
for his sake, because a lot of the NBA number ones have not in recent times lived up to the hype.
Oh, I can tell you that, boy. Lots of
Yeah,
hype and nothing, and
yeah,
nothing. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see if he does. Um, what I do know is going to a place where the coach is like top draw. He's one of the best coaches ever. So Popovich is going to do the best with him and make
hmm
it play to his strengths. So I'm a believer that he'll do well, but I'm still not sure about the greatness that they're putting on his shoulders.
yeah. So Spurs, yeah, he's gone to Spurs, a good
Yes,
team. Yeah,
really good. Well, the team itself wasn't that good last year, but I mean, yeah, it's a good
so
organization.
good organization, I should
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
yeah.
For sure. Well, they weren't that good why they got the number one.
Thank you.
Yeah, so sometimes
They were
it
actually that
plays,
bad.
yeah, not that bad, yeah. So any other surprises? I mean, two brothers, twin
Yeah,
brothers, right? Going fourth and fifth, Thompson brothers.
yeah, I saw that, which is
Yeah, first
unusual to
time.
see. You don't see that
Yeah,
often at all. So it's going to be interesting to see if they both come out really well.
yeah, and both going to different
Yeah,
different areas of the
yeah,
rest of the US.
yeah.
Yeah, Houston and Detroit. So
But I was wondering about the Toronto picks. I'm not sure if you took a quick look at Mr. Dick here, but did you
Toronto,
did,
Grady
did,
Dick.
did, did you see his suit?
No idea.
So I think he's getting more press for that. He had this bright red shiny thing. I don't even know. And he says, "Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime wear, and this is the place to wear it." So,
Hey,
like, okay, maybe he's just a different kid, but talented. He can play guard. He can play forward. Good height. And I know from a side, I said, you know what, this is Masai Ujiri's pick because those are the type of players he likes that are lanky and they can do a lot of different things. And so I'm
right.
happy that they got a good player. But I mean, let's see. Maybe he's just one of those eccentric kids. Who knows?
Yeah, there a lot of eyes were on, well, here in Toronto. A lot of people are looking to see who Toronto is going to
Who's gonna pick?
select
Yeah, for
and
sure.
the picks for sure. And they've been having some discussions about Miami because down in Miami they're talking about Kyle Lowry, his the amount of money he's been paid to come off the bench. That's been a big
Yeah.
topic recently, and
You
if
know,
he can be traded,
when you
yeah,
lose, those topics come up immediately. So if they had won, they wouldn't have said a thing. But
yeah,
no, you're
yeah,
paying this guy how much to do what? To be,
yeah.
oh boy, oh
So they're
boy.
talking about how can he be traded, and there are going to be some trades in there for sure.
Well, some trades have happened already.
And but happen, yeah.
But before we go to the trades, I just talked about the surprise for me. It was
Hmm.
they keep talking about Michael Jordan and the decisions he makes as an owner has been poor. He has made bad picks. He picked Kwame Brown as number one, and he turned out to nothing. Now he has gone and he has picked Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller, yeah,
And the Hornets people are ready to choke Michael Jordan because they're like, "Who? How did you pick him?"
yeah.
Nobody's happy. Nobody. So I don't know. He's selling the teams. I'm not sure if I don't know. Let's see how this guy works out. But yeah, he didn't pick the best player available, which I think is what people are complaining about. Right.
Well,
So
maybe he thinks he's looking at the fit for Charlotte. That's the only thing I can
that's you
believe.
can hope for. They're saying because they have Lamella Ball in that
Yeah.
role already. But there's always depth. You need a good backup too. So I don't understand. Anyway, let's see how he works out from a pick point of view. But yeah, as I mentioned about the trades, so I can't believe this, but Chris Paul, he's actually going to Golden State Warriors.
Golden State. Wow.
Like, whoa, what's going on here? So that backcourt with him and Steph back there, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they're going to work together. He's a little older now, or a lot older, I should say. So let's see how good he's going to be down there. He's had problems with injuries, but interesting call. But I think the biggest move that people are talking about right now it's Porzingis going to Boston for Marcus Smart.
Hmm.
And a lot has been talked about Porzingis, sort of the same way they talk about the number one pick this year.
Right.
Um, Lots of height and talent, but he's bigger in terms of body. But Marcus Smart for me, like even when you watch him play, this guy will die on the court for Boston. So I'm not sure if it's the right move that they made. I'm not sure.
Surprise.
A little surprising that who they traded. I mean, I don't. It's not such a surprise that he got there, but it's who they gave up.
Right.
I think is the problem for me. But the NBA is shaping up to be an interesting year coming up for sure.
Yeah, it's sports teams are always surprised with these trades sometimes, and you wonder what they're thinking, but
I know, I
they're
know.
supposedly they're
I think
people
it's
who knows best.
yeah, for sure. I think it's a gamble in terms of they want to. Boston is right at the cusp of winning
Uh,
this whole thing, and Porzingis can take them over if the situation is right. He has that amount of talent and tenacity, so he can get them there. But I'm just not sure if they gave up the right guy to do this. But time will tell. But it's a very strong team now with Tatum and Porzingis there,
yeah, it's a strong team for sure.
And Brown as well, Jalen
and
Brown.
and they just fell short last this season. They just fell short, got to the
Yeah,
final
I
divisional
still don't
final.
understand how they get Miami to beat them. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation for another
That's for
time. But
sure.
like, what happened here? They go down 3-0. It's like, whoa,
Yeah,
came back 3-3. But I mean, yeah, I guess they're shot by then.
yeah. It was all to play for in that final game, and they didn't show up like we
No,
thought they would.
they never showed up. I guess they were just burnt out. Too much to come back from three down.
For sure. Yeah. So NBA, we keep an eye as usual. NBA trades gonna be a busy off
Busy,
season.
busy, because a lot of people are supposed to be traded and they haven't been traded yet. They talk about
Yes, there's a
Damian
lot of
Lillard in Portland. They talk about Pascal Siakam over here in Toronto. So still looking forward to see who's going to be traded. And early season right now, so lots more trades to come.
yeah. It's gonna be a lot for sure. So, Roger, let's get on to some cricket, and then we have track and field to talk about later because it's getting closer to. I'm getting more and more anxious because it's getting closer to that Jamaica trial. So,
Yes, it
you know,
is. It is.
hope no pullouts, but we'll see. But you'll talk about that a little later. But we'll talk about the cricket where one thing last week when we left, the first Test match of the Ashes was going on, and baseball, that's the thing that everybody talks
Uh,
about. England lost that match, and there's quite a lot of criticism about baseball, but the coach and the captain Stokes is sticking to it and said, "Hey, if we didn't play that kind of cricket, we wouldn't have such a fantastic thing." And the result, the actually coach said the result proves him right, and that
Sort of did. Sort of
yeah,
did.
he said it shows that he's making the right decision to play that kind of cricket. So
I believe basketball is what cricket needs. So the sport needs basketball, in my opinion, and I think they have done a good job of playing basketball. They have been really good at it. They should not have lost the game last time, but I mean, yeah, they have been pretty good at playing basketball. And I mean, I'd love to see more basketball, to tell the truth. It's
yeah, I don't
exciting.
have a problem with it. I honestly don't have a problem with it. I think it's good. I
Yeah.
think you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose
Lose
some, and
exactly. You just gotta win more than you lose, but I think you're
yeah,
absolutely right. It makes the
and
game so much more interesting, and you just want to watch.
The England have been 11-3 since they started
Thank
McCallum
you.
playing that kind of
Thank
cricket.
you.
So yeah,
Winning more than you're losing. That's all you can
yeah,
ask for. So I don't know what people are complaining about. They need to win 100% of it. It's never going to happen,
it's
whether
not
it's
gonna
basketball or not. So
exactly.
go with your basketball. If you're winning 75% of your games, beautiful
Yeah,
life.
people like Kevin Peterson was very critical, but
Mm.
as you said, they're gonna win and lose some.
Uh,
But England has made a couple of changes for Rehan Ahmed, the 18-year-old, has come into the
oh,
Test side as
mm,
a cover from Moeen Ali because Moeen Ali showed signs of wear from that first test because he hasn't played first class cricket in a long time playing
I
short outs.
know.
So
And they just throw him into the deep end.
yeah, and you saw his finger, spinning
Yes.
finger. It was
Yeah.
terrible, and
Yeah.
he actually got fined because he was on the boundary and he sprayed some
I,
stuff on his
I
hand.
heard. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. He should have known better, but I mean, I just said he hadn't played for a long time.
He hasn't played for a long time. I think he was in pain and he just
Yeah.
thought, he could have should have gone off the field and done that.
Easy. He was right at the boundary. Why not just
Yeah,
lift up your hand, wave, and say, "Take me off"?
yeah, and yeah, but an exciting test match, in the end. I think it was a
Very,
close, a good, very good win
very.
for Australia. It was could have gone either way.
Exactly. That's what basketball is about, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah, but England could have done better to win. But I mean, Australia stepped up and did what they had to do.
yeah, they did. So chasing, they got 282 for eight, and
282.
it's
Yeah.
Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyons, who, yeah,
Thank
we
you. It's
thought
not even like it was the guys at the top, like Labashane and those guys doing the stuff. It was a tough game all the way to the end.
right to the end. Yeah, only Usman Khamaraja who stood up. He was the man of the match. He had
Match, yeah,
65.
yeah, he played
Yeah,
well. Played
played
well.
very well in this test match.
And he
So
didn't have anybody shouting and calling him dirty names.
no, he did. That's so true. Yeah. So
So,
yeah, so he was able to get across the line.
yes, he did.
Um, yeah. Gonna talk a bit about Weston. Before we get to that, though, I want to talk a bit about the other Ashes, which is the women's Ashes, which was
Man,
started.
it's a one test, right?
It's the women's Ashes is actually a one test, yeah, only,
One test only, yeah.
and 4-day test match.
Yeah.
And you just wonder, though, it's probably gonna end in a draw with those big scores.
Was yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't like these one-off games, but yeah, it was good batting practice.
It is. It's very good. The women's Ashes, 284. In England women are pretty going along, chasing the 473.
Yeah, yeah.
Made by thing, they're now 406 for five. Beaumont is 188. Nata Raja, she's
She's
going along
going.
very well.
Double century on the cards.
A double century on the cards, and I felt in the Australia innings, I felt it for Elise Perry, who's one of the better players. She was out for 99. And,
Never a good number to be out at. Never a good
and
number.
then Sutherland coming in at number 8, and she scored 137.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Australia had batting all the way down, and they're doing well. England, in response, as I said, Bowman, the opener, she's on 188. We had Heather Knight's 57. Brandt, she scored 78. Sophia Dunkley, a player who I like quite a lot, she got out for 9, but I think
Okay.
she's the great player. And
Well,
Danny Wyatt, she got 44. So to me, it's going to be a drawn test match because we're already
it's gonna be drawn. Yeah, you have
yeah,
two scores
into
over
day
400 already. So
into day 3. So
yeah,
unless somebody's bold and do something. England.
Unless the pitch changes and all of a sudden it becomes bad. I mean, it looks like it's a good batting pitch right now.
It is for sure.
So they're just gonna stay there and make good runs. I think England is gonna go over 500, and before you know it, you got 2 days to go, and you can't bowl out and bat it and make the score. So all set for a draw.
All set for a draw for sure. So let's turn our attention now to the qualifiers as West Indies is in a battle. Earlier we saw
Right.
Netherlands beat Nepal, so Nepal is out of it.
Yeah.
No, no chance of them. Nepal is out, and so is the USA. So West Indies go through, and the key thing for this winning this match is that the team takes the points over to the next round.
I heard
So
that. Yeah.
West Indies, I think if you recall the last qualifiers, I don't think Afghanistan won a game in the second round, but they were able to qualify for the World Cup
Qualify.
because
Yeah, because they
of
took the
the point.
points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so West
And I
key
don't know why
points here.
West Indies
West
is
Indies.
playing around with that. You know that going in. So just win the few
Yeah,
games. What's going on with you, West Indies?
it shouldn't even be close, but I think a couple of poor decisions here and there, but still, I think the drop catches this morning,
That was
and
ridiculous.
yeah,
Absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Because at this level, Ingle, I don't know about you, but I think when you get to this level, you can't be doing that nonsense. I,
no,
I think that's where Clive Lloyd, the professionalism that Clive Lloyd had when he was the captain of the team, these drop catches that I see happen would never happen under that regime. Ever.
no, it would never. I mean, simplest of catches. Some great catches in the last match, but between the great catches, there's too many drop
There's too many
catches.
drop catches. Too
Yeah,
many
and
drop
I just
catches.
said the great teams will never do that. Sikandar Raza for Zimbabwe, he went on to get 68. He got dropped twice.
Twice. Twice.
Ryan Burl was the simplest of catches you could find, but Casey Carty put it down.
I think I could have
And
caught that one. Honestly, I think
oh,
I could have caught that one.
anybody could have caught that with your eyes closed, probably. So not very good for us in his for the bowling department. Kima Paul, he had 3 wickets but 61 runs, a bit too expensive for me.
Too much for me.
And Akil Hussein, he continues his good work, 2 for 45, 2 for 42 for Joseph. And Joseph seemed to be the one on the wrong end when it comes to dropping catches.
Every game, there's 2 games now. They dropped what, like about 5 catches off him.
Off of him, yeah, for
It's
sure.
ridiculous. He must be quite pissed when he gets to that locker room.
He has to be. He's a guy who is a very nice guy, but he gets upset for those little things. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
deservedly so though, man. You're working hard out there, and these guys are throwing it away.
Yeah, you're a professional. That's all you do. You're trained to do that every day.
This is what you get paid to do. This is all
You
you
get
do.
paid.
Nothing else.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So West Indies now need 52 runs, chasing the 268. They need to get to 269. They're 217 for six. Mayers, he got 56. I thought he gave away his innings.
you did.
Shea Hope got a nasty one, and he got out. That kept very low. And
I saw that. Yeah.
Nicholas Puran, I think the umpire erred. And it goes to show, and then now one silly wicket has gone as we're talking, Roger, because I think Holder just gave away his wicket.
Oh boy,
Jason Holder. And
that's not
so
good. Not good.
not very good at all. He just steered the ball directly into the keeper's hand, and
Wow.
that's not very good. So I think West Indies are going to struggle coming down to the end to get, but they have some decent enough batting to get there. So let's hope
They
they get
do.
over the line.
They do. Well, I don't even know what to say because right now Zimbabwe is putting them under so much pressure that I don't know if the guys coming in is going to have the right mentality to take them across the line. To tell the truth, but you never know. They have the talent to do it.
The pressure, yeah. And the thing about Zimbabwe, and I'm happy to see, is that Zimbabwe, the stadium is sold out. It's sold out so much that the Zimbabweans chose to put some big screens outside of the stadium.
That's what I've noticed.
And
Yeah.
the fans are, I mean,
That's what the game should be about, though.
it should be,
When the game is playing, everybody should be into it. I see singing, I see dancing in the crowd there,
yeah.
big screens outside. That's a good festival to be at.
It is where like the Canadian team went there. We went there to play, and I witnessed it myself. And I
Nice.
didn't expect at that level for playing against Canada they would come out like that, but they did.
That's a surprise
Um,
because Canada's not a big name with big name
right,
players. So,
but they
yeah,
support their team and they dance for the whole game and they're singing and
they
dancing the
do.
whole game.
Lots of
Yeah,
energy in that crowd, I can tell you.
yeah, for sure. So Stinders now need 51, and we'll keep an eye on them before the end of the
Are you willing
show.
to
We
put
might be
your
able to.
money where your mouth is?
I still think West Indies will win the game.
You still think so? Okay.
Yeah, I
I do
still
as well. I mean, and that's more patriotic than my head is telling me that they're trying their best to lose it, the way I see them giving away their wickets. But yeah, I'm going with the West Indies as well.
Yeah, I think Royston Chase is still there. He's got a lot of criticism, but I think he's going to bring them across the line because
I don't like him as
he's
a.
bullet.
Well, I'm one of those criticizing him, and I think you as well. But I, I think somehow he's going to survive this, and he's
He
going to be the
is.
hero. I think he's going to be the hero.
I think he's a decent enough batsman, and at this level, I think he's that this teams he will do well. He'll
Yeah,
keep a cool head, and I think he wants to prove to people that he can stick
he
around. So
deserves.
he
He
deserves to
deserves
be
to
there.
be there. Yeah, yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
So if he can win this game, it will be great for him. And Kimo Paul is with him right now, so I
And he's
think
a
West
very.
Indies.
I think Kimo Paul is the one who's going to make most of the runs. But yeah, I think these two and even Hussein coming up is going to do enough for West Indies to win.
Yeah, I think so too. Just before we finish with cricket, some news and notes, and you're got some fellow Jamaican, Robert Samuel,
Oh, my
been
former
appointed.
my high school mate. No, so
Yeah,
I'm happy for him. But I mean, what are your thoughts on this though? Because he's been named as the
he's been
interim,
there. Yeah, he's
but
interim.
he was
He's
the
been there.
he was number two to Courtney Walsh, right?
Yeah, he was a batting coach more or less,
Yeah,
assistant batting coach for
yeah.
Cornwall. So I'm
And
wondering what's this all about?
exactly. I mean, they fired everybody. In my opinion, now they brought him back.
Yeah, and they brought back two people who were there before too. They brought
Before,
back Steve Liebert as this as assistant, and also Ryan Austin, former West Indies off spinner.
I am confused. So this just about Walsh? Is that the message that we're getting here now? Is this just about Walsh?
That's the message you seem to be sending because if you're bringing back the assistants there,
Exactly.
got rid of Walsh, you're probably saying it's just about Courtney Walsh. So
That's not good.
yeah, that's
Not
not
good.
good for sure.
No, not good.
Yeah, and
Wow. But I mean, good for Robert. I mean, he's
yeah,
an
good for Robert. I'm happy for him.
awesome guy. Awesome guy.
Very
And I
good.
think he has helped some of these Jamaican batsmen. I know he helped Jermaine Blackwood a lot.
Hmm.
So yeah, he has done a good job as a batting coach. So kudos to him.
Yeah,
Hope he does
kudos to
well.
him for sure. And some news about around that series. It's the first, and I didn't even realize that it's going to be the first series, women's series in the Caribbean to be televised.
The
Um,
first, really?
yeah, the others have been live streamed but not televised. So there's
Oh,
been
because
a
I know I've been watching it live, but yeah, right? I mean,
yeah.
nowadays you
So
can't even separate the media from from the streaming.
yeah, so now you can get it on Flow Sports, Fan Code, BT Sport, ESPN, Super Sport, and Sky
Very
New
good.
Zealand. So very
Very
good
good.
that West Indies have signed that agreement, and you can now see the women live on these networks. And ending on a well, just Yannick Nakai. I know he was out of that series early, getting
Yeah.
injured. So he had
Mhm.
surgery to repair the fractured nose. Yesterday in Harare. So he's recovering, and I think it was a big loss to West Indies. But actually, it happened the day before the series started, so
Started,
that
yeah.
was
Yeah.
bad news for him, but good news for Chase because Chase was out of the team the day before, but
And now he
then
got in.
because of injury, he got in, and
And now it looks like he's gonna take them home to a
now
victory.
he's
So
cementing his
things
spot.
worked out really well.
So 50 from 54 balls, and by the
Yeah.
time we get off, we should either have a result or we are
Should
close to a result
we
on
should be
that one
right there
for
by the time for sure, for sure.
sure.
So I saw what's his name on CP24 yesterday, actually,
Chris Gale.
Chris Gale. So I didn't get to see his pitch, but did you see it? Because he said he's going to throw a 95
I
miles
didn't say
per
it's a
hour.
picture. It's today actually. Like, it's
It's
today,
today.
and
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I
and he
gotta
said
look out
he's
for it.
yeah. He said he's gonna pitch. I doubt Chris can pitch 95 miles an hour,
He said,
but
"What
you
is
know
this?
he's
This
got
is
to
a
get the
spin
hype.
bowler. This is a spin
Yeah,
bowler. What is he talking about? 95 miles per
but
hour. Does he know what
Chris
95 miles
Gale
per
and
hour is?
yeah, the hype behind it, and yeah, fans of the first 15,000 fans is gonna get Blue Jays cricket shirts,
Yeah, yeah,
and then they're gonna get a chance to try cricket actually.
yeah. Good promotion.
So
Good
yeah,
promotion. I
it's
mean,
good for the cricket. It's good
good
for the
move.
sport.
It was
Yeah.
interesting to see them interviewing him, and they were like, "Oh, so you are the universe boss, right?"
Yeah, the universe boss, he is the universe boss. And Chris Gale, anyway, Chris Gale goes is always fun
He
because
did extremely well.
he's a show.
I love
He's a
listening to him.
showman.
He's having
Yeah,
fun. He knows how to have fun.
Yeah,
But that's always good. So no, I got to know. He has got me piqued my interest. I got to see if I can find him when he's throwing his 95 miles per hour fastball.
yeah, I got to see that fastball myself.
All right,
I
but
was
when he
hoping
says,
to be there, but just so happened that we scheduled a meeting on the same weekend before. So,
okay, not able
but
to
if
make
not, I
it.
would have been at the Blue Jays game watching Chris Gale.
Watching Chris Gayle throw the fastball.
Yeah,
It's so
I
funny.
think West Indies are giving it away, Roger, because
I told you they're trying to lose.
I mean, the kind of shots that they're playing, reverse sweeps, for what reason? And Kimo Paul just out trying to reverse sweep for no reason. So I think pressure is getting to them. So, wow,
No,
the
yeah,
odds are now more on Zimbabwe.
it was, yeah. So as I was saying, it was more emotional when I picked them because the way they're playing, the guys coming in, they're under a lot of pressure,
They're under a
and
lot of pressure
they
for
need
sure.
a strong person to lead. I'm not, yeah, maybe Chase is the guy to do it, but I don't know. We still have talent to take us through, but somebody has to hold their head down and say, you know what, I'm not giving up my wicket. I'm going to fight to the end, and then they have a shot. If they're going to do the nonsense that they're doing now, they're going to
They're going to
be
fall
losing.
short.
They're going to lose.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll keep you updated on that score before we go. And but in this for now, we got 24 minutes to go before the end of the show, and we want to talk about some track and field, about the great things that are happening in track and upcoming meets. So, Roger, if you
Yeah,
can lead
lots.
us, yeah,
Yeah, lots going on. So, right now we have the European Championships taking place over there in Europe, and there's a couple of big names who are on the track, and we saw Femke Ball. Whenever she touches the track, it's going to be a championship record. So, she broke her own championship record in the 400-meter flat this time, running 49.82, bettering her 50.3. So, she's always fantastic to watch, and it's going to be interesting to see how the year goes with her. But also Eva Swoboda from Poland, she won the 100 meters in 11.09. Pretty good time, looking pretty good as well. So, it's good to see the Europeans, right there. So it makes for a very, very interesting World Championships coming up in Budapest in August. Right here in Canada, though, we have a Canadian track and field series, and yesterday, not yesterday, but a couple of days ago on Wednesday, we had the Guelph meet, the
mm,
Challenger meet there, and we saw pretty fast 100 meters as Nigerian it's Ikiri, very fast guy, set a huge meet record. The guy ran 10.05 to win that
mm,
race. So he was looking extremely good. I will admit, I've been to this Guelph meet many times and I didn't even know the track was fast enough for them to run 10.05. So it was great to see that time. Second behind him was Dwayne Asamoto, who did a good time of 10.17, and Malachi Murray, 10.27. So Asamoto is from Toronto. Malachi Murray is out from BC. So the Canadians were behind him, but very fast meet record, 10.05. Let's see what's going to happen as there's another meet today over there in Windsor. So most of them are showing up. I think Dwayne is not there, but Isakiri is there, and Malachi Murray is there, and Brandon Letts is there, and a couple others are there. So let's see what happens over there in Windsor today. But good to see a Canadian having their own little circuit. Really
yeah, that's
awesome.
good to see for sure.
Over there, though, the big meet today, of course, that everyone is talking about is going to be the New York Grand Prix. And headlines are about two people. I think Mo, she
Yeah,
has not run for 11 months, but now she's showing up and she's going to be in an 800-meter race against Aggie Wilson. So let's see how that goes. A lot is expected of Mo that she's going to break the world record and all of that stuff, but you don't see her, you don't know.
you
So let's
don't
see
know.
how
Yeah,
well she does. But I love her to death, but I'm not sure what's going on with her. She's a young kid. I think she's just not into the sport as much as she should at this point in her career. But we'll find out this year to see if she's. Keely Hodgkinson, in my opinion, is trying her best to make sure she can win that 800. Let's see if Mo can shut her down like what she did in Oregon, beating her by just a small margin, but she still won. Also today, though, a lot of and this annoys me a little, England, when you have big names coming in. So the 200 meter was supposed to be Noah Lyles versus Michael Norman versus Fred
mm-hmm.
Curley. And of course, Fred Curley pulls out,
Okay, Kelly, yeah.
and now Michael Norman pulls out. So it's
Oh,
like, who's
Michael
going?
Norman pulls out too. Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine that? So it's like, who's running against Noah Lyles now? He's going to
Mm,
have a field day out there. So a little disappointed in that, but we will see how that 200 goes. I mean, he's a big name there.
mm.
Cindy McLaughlin is there as well. She had her wings clipped a little in that 400 meters in the
Yeah, in that
Diamond
first.
League. Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's back, and she doesn't really have strong competition. Although my favorite Gabby Thomas is there. Gabby Thomas is a 200-meter runner who runs really great 400 meters. So Gabby ran 49.68 a couple weeks ago, so which is a faster time than what Sydney has run. So she has a faster time
Hmm.
coming into the race. So let's see how that matchup goes in the 400 meters today. And it's going to be on NBC Live between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock today. So if you're around, want to
Yeah,
watch it, you can watch it. But the other big race is the 100 meters for men, of course. And you have Christian Coleman going up against Akeem Blake from Jamaica, the young kid who is doing really well. Akeem Blake beat him recently. And also Zarnell Hughes from Great Britain, So Akeem Blake trains in Jamaica, Zarnell Hughes trains in Jamaica, two different camps. But Zarnell beat him last weekend at the Jamaica All Comers meet. So let's see if Akeem Blake can return the favor and beat him where it matters most. So it should be a pretty fast race today in the men's 100 meters. But I think the big news coming out of Jamaica, England, the really big news for me personally, and I hope it's true. I mean, being registered for me doesn't mean they're going to show up, but we finally saw Elaine Thompson here registered to run a 100-meter race today in Jamaica. So
Oh, okay.
I feel like I should catch a flight just to go to Jamaica just to see if it's true.
Just to see her.
But I'm looking forward to see how well she does. I mean, Shelley has already come out and said she's not racing before the championships, July 6 to 9. Elaine never said a word, but now she's there. So interesting to see. Interesting to see how she does because there were rumors she's not doing well in training and her coach is upset with her and all of that, which happens to be her husband.
Her husband,
but
right? Yeah.
but he wasn't happy with how she was doing in training. So let's see if it's true. I am I'm even more pumped to see what time she does more than even some of these races in New York today. But of course, in New York is the real deal, so we'll see how that goes. In some news and notes, Ingle, we always talk about track and field, and some people feel, it's not doing as well as it should, and it's a problem because World Athletics doesn't know how to market the sport properly, or to share the money properly, or set it up properly. But then we see two places, Atlanta, Georgia, and Reno, Nevada. They're going to be spending millions to set up new indoor track and field facilities. So, a little surprised at that. When a sport is not top like NFL and all of that stuff, and nobody really watches track and field that much in the states. To see them spending so much money, it's a little interesting for me. I don't know. Maybe it's on its way back. I don't know what it is, but to see them spend that much money, I mean, I think Atlanta is spending 6 and Reno is spending like 100, but Reno is doing a little more than just track and field. But it's still a lot of money spending on a sport that isn't going as well as it should. So we'll
It's
see.
right.
We'll definitely see if it works out. But it's for me personally, it's good. It's good. That's where the way I want to see the sport go, where they spend the money to make the facilities match what is happening in the world, and we get top times and top people and all of that stuff. So looking forward to see just how good these facilities are going to be and who shows up for them. Because
For them, yeah.
one of the things that athletes are complaining about, and Kenny Bednarek, who won the silver medal in the 200 meters at the Olympics for the USA, he's complaining on Twitter that the cost to travel to these meets is just too high.
Yeah, the cost of travel is ridiculous these days.
Yeah,
So,
but not only that, they're charging them a high fee to perform to get into the meet. So to get into the stadium and all of that too. So it's you got hit both ways. You got to hit on the flight, and then you got to get to register and get into the meet as well. It's getting expensive also. So I don't know. I think money's being spent on facilities, but maybe they need to focus the money more on the athletes themselves to see if we can
hmm
build them up instead of just the facilities. So interesting conversation because in general, track and field is the biggest complaint is that only 2% really makes money there,
right.
which is really low. So if you have 100 million spend, spend it on some athletes, please,
Some athletes, yeah.
please.
Please, yeah, for sure.
Oh boy. So a couple of things here. Of course, the talk after the NCAA's was who is going to be named Athlete of the Year. So we haven't gone through the Bowerman Awards yet. They're at the semifinal stages, but these two are there, and two big names came out. Track and Field News, considered the Bible of the sport. They have named, no surprise here, Julian Alfred as the
Right. No
female
surprise
athlete of
there.
the year. Yeah, because every time I look back at what she did, it's really one for the ages. She ran the fastest 100 and 200-meter races ever for an NCAA person. Um, it was wind assisted, so it was not official, But at the end of the day, no one has run 21:73 or 10:73. So she dropped the times that no one else has ever dropped, although it wasn't legal because of the extra win. But fastest time ever. Give her credit for that. On top of that, she had the record for the 4x100 meter with her team as well.
Hmm.
So yes, she's been winning all year.
She's been,
Nobody
yeah.
nobody
I,
even close to her.
I
So
can't even think of anybody else but her get to winning.
100%. And on the male side, they gave the young Jamaican Jaden Hibbert. So he's only 18, freshman. So he just left high school last year. He could have participated at. He actually went to the Curve the game, so he could have participated at Boys and Girls Championships in Jamaica. But he says, "What for? I'm way better than everybody else," and he has proven it. He's number one in the world in the triple jump, and now he's track and field male athlete of the year for the NCAA. So kudos to him as well. He's feeling very confident that he's going to do something special at World Championships this year. So I'm looking forward to see how he does. And if we can really have an 18-year-old Jamaican winning the triple jump at the World Championships, that would be something for the ages. I must
Yeah,
say, for the
definitely.
ages. So we'll see how that one goes. And I love his situation. He went to school 18. So I mean, some people, and I think I was one of them. At 18, I was still growing. And when you're growing, it's difficult to train because your body you're prone to injuries
Yeah,
when you're growing. And his coach did an excellent job. His coach put him on a short. He has only jumped 17 times for the whole year. The
wow.
whole year, he goes to a meet, he jumps once. That's it. No more than one jump. He goes out, he makes a big jump, and he's on a short run. He's running half the run up he's supposed to run. Takes one jump, he wins. That's it. So they have really, you know, looked after him really well, and he's going to be ready for world championships. And we may see an 18-year-old, he's going to go up against the big names, and that's usually the mental side. But we'll see if he does it. But I'm actually
Mhm.
excited to see just how well this young kid is going to do at the world
Yeah.
championship. The last thing on the news and notes, and this is just mind-boggling in my opinion. So, Lulin Santos from Dominican Republic,
Hmm.
he's facing a suspension for something that I didn't even know people still did and could get
Age
away with.
falsification.
Age falsification.
Age falsification.
He lied about his age when he won the World Juniors. He won. He was second to Kirani James, and
Hmm.
I think at the Olympics that year he was also second in the Olympics as well. So he got medals, and now they're looking to take back his medals. Everything that this guy, I just still can't believe. So you're telling me you're not 20, you're not under 20, you're running under 20,
Running,
and
yeah.
and he's saying that he knowingly did it.
Wow.
I mean, his excuse about the people around him and he wasn't, which I've heard he wasn't very educated, and they were telling him, he needs to get some education. But good Lord, Ingle, man, good. I mean, I don't know. This was a such. I didn't even know these things still happened. I was saying,
It happens. It happens a lot in cricket, actually.
really?
Yeah, it's they
Wow.
actually there's so much information you have now to prove your age. I think there's some countries actually doing a test of the wrist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there are some countries have been known to falsify the ages of the players. So yeah, that's been something that cricket has been doing. In fact,
That's
in
interesting to
India,
hear. That's good to hear, actually.
India actually allows only you can only play one under 19 World Cup for India now. They don't
Oh,
allow you to play two anymore.
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
The
yeah.
changes are being made. I mean, it's good that the people are aware of it. I mean, I know, people used to say they, do this to run at Boys and Girls Championships in Jamaica. But on the international stage, I just didn't know they could get away with it.
No, I didn't think I would, but yeah, they do.
Wow. Fascinating to me. And I like this guy a lot. I mean, I've seen him here. He
Yeah,
came here, ran in
exactly.
Montreal, and I watched him, spoke with him. Nice kid. Nice kid. But apparently a
Wow.
cheater. So I don't even know
It's
what to say. It just
exactly.
shock. You see, when you know somebody, I've met them and all of that, and then you realize that's who they are, it's like it's always, whoa, where did this come from?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, Ingle, but we'll see. We'll see how that one flushes out. He's looking at 2 to 4 years suspension.
Suspension.
So
Wow.
whatever they give him, he deserves. I will just say
Yeah.
that whatever he gets, he deserves it. So we'll see exactly what happens to him as he moves along. But that was about it for track and field for this weekend. But we do have a lot of soccer going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of soccer.
And I must say, Ingle, congratulations to St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, the first time ever.
I said, Ingle must be jumping up and down somewhere
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, it's the first time ever getting to the Gold Cup, and oh, the celebrations in St. Kitts has been crazy.
I can just imagine. I was like, England must be jumping for joy somewhere right now because, you know, whenever it's the first time for something as big as this, it's huge in the country.
Yeah,
Huge.
and
If you know, they may even give a holiday, a national holiday.
yeah, it's an interesting thing because the president of the the soccer association and football association in St. Kitts, Atiba Harris,
Hmm.
he's just 38, 738, and he could
Oh, young
still be
kid.
playing.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
played in the major league for a number of years.
Okay, okay.
Um, he played for Real Salt Lake,
Real
I
Salt
think
Lake,
that's yeah.
Utah. Yeah, Utah.
And he played there, and he decided that that was it for him in his playing career. He wanted to go home and do something. And the coach of the team and him was his mentor, actually. He said,
Oh, really?
and
Okay,
he
okay.
did an interview on Sportsmax, and he spoke about that. And in fact, Lance Whitaker and those other guys on Sportsmax were saying that they always saw the talent in Sinkers, but they never got across the line. So it was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fantastic to see them cross the
Finally
line
do
this
it.
time, finally
Finally do
doing
it.
it.
It was great. 'Cause you know what? You're absolutely right. They always have a good team,
Mhm.
but I think the structure just wasn't there. So the organization that you required to win. And the more you play sports, the more you realize that you gotta have good organization behind you to be
Yeah,
successful. You can't just go there with talent and win. You gotta be organized and prepared. And I think they're getting there now. So it's good. I mean, they're in the group with Jamaica and the USA.
yeah, and Trinidad,
So, and Trinidad. So I mean, it's not that they're gonna get an easy road, but
no.
they're there. What's the most important thing is that they're there, and it's going to be fascinating to see Saint Kitts at the Gold Cup for the first time. But it kicks off today,
Yes,
and
it kicks off today. Yeah,
Jamaica is taking on the USA, and that's like I'm sure like everybody in Jamaica is going to be glued to their televisions tonight to watch that game
yeah,
because always a big game when you take on the USA, and the USA didn't. They're not feeling their strongest team. Jamaica looks like they're feeling pretty much their strongest team. So
right.
believe it or not, Jamaica is going into this game as the favorite.
Oh wow.
Believe it or not. So
Good.
it's just I don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they're
There's
going
some
as
talk
favorite.
about the Jamaica name. I can't remember the name of the player. There's a 17-year-old
Oh,
schoolboy.
Dujon, yeah, yeah, he's from my school too. So yeah,
Oh,
Dujon, they call him Whisper Richards. So
Whisper Richards, right?
Whisper,
That's
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And there was some talk, surprised that he was selected, but then the coach is banking on his future and says he hope he did the. He's got so much talent. He
He
plays way
does.
above his age. So
Way. The thing that they're complaining about is that because he doesn't play against older guys, he played
right.
a lot of his
Nice.
games against his own age group. But he was signed by your club, Chelsea.
Yep, you're
Yes,
signed
so
by Chelsea. Yeah.
so it's at Chelsea. So I am happy that he's there, but I can understand their argument. But the coach is right. I mean, he explained his decision. He says if I'm going to get somebody who more than likely won't start, will be on the bench, get the youngest guy with the most talent,
Yeah.
and he'll probably get the most out of it. So they made a good move for that, in my opinion. But I mean, it's a tough move because some guys play their hearts out in the Premier League in Jamaica, and one guy scored 20 goals, leading goal scorer. The other one scored 18. Both very good. Both look good. So they wanted experience as well. So it's a little disappointing that they didn't get it. But when you look at the starting lineup there, that forward line, I don't think they could take away any of the other five. So it's just what it is. It is what it is. Now, if Jamaica wins, then you won't hear a thing about it. But and I think Richards is going to score a goal. I can almost feel it.
You can. Yeah.
I think he's going to score a goal. So it's going to be interesting to see. Big game tonight. I think it's about 9 o'clock or so tonight. So I'm going to try
Yeah.
see if I can.
8:30.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fall asleep. I'm gonna try my best not to fall asleep because I want to see this game. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. But I also want to see what Saint Kitts does.
They play tomorrow against Trinidad at 3:30.
Yeah. So if I'm available, I'm gonna try and see if I can get a piece of that game because I want to see how they do. Usually when you get to a big competition for the first time, you either overperform or underperform. So I'm hoping for the
Underperform.
over. I'm hoping that they overperform
Oh,
because
for sure.
interesting times ahead for both Saint Kitts and Jamaica for sure in this Gold Cup. But last weekend we saw the Nations League, and it was Canada versus the USA.
Let's say.
The USA had their strongest team there, and Canada lost 2-0 to them. And I mean, it was a sort of a disappointing display from the Canadians, and they played okay, but it was just okay. Nothing special about what they did. But there's a lot of, and I'm not sure what your thoughts are on this, Ingle. So the captain, Atiba Hutchinson, he said he's going to retire after this
He's
game.
retiring, yeah.
And you know what? He didn't put him on. So I was a little confused by that. I mean, the
Yeah,
guy's 40. He tells you this is his last game ever in his life, and you keep him on the bench for the entire 90 minutes. So
yeah.
Dwayne
And
Rosario was pissed about that. So
oh yeah, I'll be pissed. I don't think that was a good decision. I think even
poor.
if it's 5 minutes or whatever it
In
is,
the last 2 minutes of the game,
2 minutes of the
please.
game, please. Yeah, it's very poor, definitely
I thought,
poor.
and not only that, it's not like they were winning and or something like they're losing, and they know they couldn't win because they were not even in the game.
Right.
Just give the guy a few minutes, 2 minutes, please. He didn't look so happy, but he's not going to say anything, of course, knowing the person that he is. But if I'm going to tell you, Coach, this is it for me, and you're going to make me sit down for the entire 90 minutes,
Yeah,
it
it's a
was
poor send off, poor on the coach's
poor,
part for sure.
poor, very, very poor. But the Women's World Cup is coming up in soon,
Yeah,
July. July, it's just around the corner. And the Canadian women team, of course, they won the Olympics, and they're saying they want to make sure that before they go to Australia in June 28th for their pre-tournament camp, they want all their money issues settled.
so yeah,
And they have not had a labor deal since the end of 2021, and we're now in 2023. But I don't know, England. I don't know what your thoughts are. Do you think that they really are not going to go if it's
no,
not
I don't
done?
think so. I think they're gonna go, and I think they're gonna have the dispute sorted before they go.
Yes,
Charmaine Crooks is ahead of that now, right? And
yes,
I
she
think
is.
she
She
will
is.
make sure that it's done. And there's a lot of push to make sure women's sport is in
Yes,
good stead. So yeah, I think it's gonna be solved then. But yeah, the threats are there probably just to make sure that they push a bit because
yes.
it'll be embarrassing if Canada doesn't show up.
Well, I don't think the players have the guts to do that either.
No, I don't think so.
But we'll see. I mean, but yeah, I think it's one of those threats that you sort of have to take seriously. But you're disappointed that they threaten you that way. But they deserve to get their money, so please pay them, Charmaine Cooks. Whatever you
Yeah.
got to do, do it. You're a smart woman, so I know you're gonna figure it out. Also, in the Jamaica named their team as well, so it was a balanced
Mhm.
team. They took 11 from what the team that went to the World Cup in 2019. So they have experience and they have a lot of young kids as well, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21. So it's a good mix for the Jamaica team, and they're feeling fairly confident. Now they're up against Brazil and France, right?
Right.
So to come out of that zone is going to be extremely difficult.
It's gonna be difficult for sure.
But it may sound weird, but I think they have a shot to beat Brazil. But I don't think they're going to beat France, but you just never know. But I think they have a shot to beat
A shot to
Brazil,
Brazil. Okay.
in my opinion. So let's see if they can do it. But they have been fighting with their Jamaica Football Association as well. So I don't know. Every time they're going off, it's a big fight. Canada is fighting, Jamaica is fighting. Please, just play some soccer, some
Yeah.
football.
So
That's all I'm
yeah.
asking for. So let's see how it goes. But I'm hoping that both Canada and Jamaica do really well at the World Cup coming up in Australia and New Zealand.
Okay. I think we've got 2 minutes to go
Yep.
on the
And
show.
the
So
another thing before we run off is that Messi is moving to Miami, and of course it's changing the whole MLS and everything. But also one of his former teammates, Sergio Busquets, he's gonna join him
it's
there.
gonna
So
join him at man. Yeah. Yeah.
it's awesome to see him bringing his friends too. So I don't know. I gotta find tickets, Ingo. I gotta
Yeah,
see
we'll go down and watch at least a couple of
a
games.
couple
Yeah,
of games for sure,
yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
But that's about it for soccer for me today.
That's about it for us as we come to the end of time. Time just flies on this show. So,
It does, it does. And did we end up with a result as yet, or?
oh, Roger, I don't even want to say. Yes, we did.
Oh, if we did, it means
West
West Indies
Indies were
lost.
bowled out for 233, lost the game very
Yeah,
poorly. Yeah,
I saw that coming.
yeah. So we'll end on that note and just wish everyone a great weekend, rest of
Let's
your
end on a
weekend,
positive note. St. Kitts is in the
and
Gold Cup.
thank us in
That's
the
what we
Gold
should be
Cup.
going out
That's the
with.
positive thing, that's for sure. So have a good
Forget about the
weekend,
win.
everyone.
Enjoy your weekend and have fun and lots of sports on TV. Watch what you can. Enjoy it as much as you can.
Cheers.
Bye bye.